at school, I wanted to work. I didn't know why I wanted to work, but I wanted to work. And at about 14, 15, I started working in the property industry. It may sound silly, but every Saturday I was making tea, doing photocopying, folding papers, doing mail shots at a local estate agent with just 2 owners. And very quickly, I knew that this was something I would really, really enjoy. And what happened by accident, because I definitely wasn't in a room at your age listening to someone who's about 10, 12, I'm only 10, 12, I'm not 10, 12 years older than me, but I never remember listening to someone age 30 saying, these are the ingredients, go and do it. I did it all by accident, and what I want to tell you today is now is your time to maybe consciously do something that can turn you into this next Bill Gates, the next Facebook, the next Google, the next Richard Branson, Virgin, Amstrad, Lord Sugar. So I started working and I really enjoyed my time in the office place. And during my sort of late teens, early 20s, I continued with my property experience. And at the age of 24, again, no one sort of tapped on my shoulder and said, Jamie, this is the script now. All my emotions and all my instincts were telling me that I leave my job and start my own business at the age of 24. And to do that is a huge leap of faith. At the age of 24, I know that some of you will still be in education and getting the correct qualifications, and if you are doing that, please use those qualifications to develop your career even further. Don't stay in college and university to then put that degree to one side and do something different. Use your education. But at 24, I knew that I found something different within the marketplace. And I won't get too technical because it's far too boring, but I saw, like with the experience of a greeting card, cards are not new. Greeting cards have been around for many, many years. I've only just heard this today. But actually you start thinking that with different faces on the greeting cards, what a brilliant idea, what a fantastic idea, and clearly it's doing very, very well. With my idea, I knew, no one was telling me, no one, hindsight is a beautiful thing, no one at that time was saying to me, that's a brilliant idea, Jamie, you go ahead and do that. But I did it. I left my job, I was being paid very, very well. By that time I had 2 properties here in the UK, I also had property overseas. That's how well I was doing in employment. But also, on the other side of that coin, when you have these responsibilities of property, credit cards, cars, motorbikes, girlfriends, they're very, very expensive. Very expensive, the latter. But to go away and say goodbye to a standard of living, because by this time I had a standard of living, but also, and more importantly for me, the commitments I have made to the bank, to my life, so the commitments I had made were important, so I'll keep those commitments. So I sold one of my properties, managed to have about £20,000 to £25,000 in the bank, and I went and I did it. I started my own business. I said goodbye to my job, and that is about as realistic as it gets. Hands up, who's earning money right now? Who's going daily, weekly, monthly? Okay, that's really good to see. That's really good to see that it's a nice majority of people, because work experience, especially your age, is absolutely key. Because you know what, when you do finish education, if it's next year or if it's in 5 years' time, when the interviewer, and especially in today's economy, when the interviewer says, okay, you've got this degree, that's brilliant, you know there's a room full of people next door who've also got that degree. What else can you offer me? Well, actually, I fought my way through college and university. Not only do I have the same degree, the same qualification as the people outside, but I've worked all through that education, and I've got all this experience. It may not be relevant experience, but that will show the interviewer that you are very tenacious and very committed and a very hard worker. And all you need is the other people next door who haven't been working as hard as you, and you probably got that job. Anyway, back to where I was going about my business is, I've quit my job, and the reason I wanted to ask how many people were working out there, imagine removing that lifeline from you. You know, you're working, you're being paid. Now remove that, so that means you won't be able to go out on your own steam, and you won't be able to buy your clothes or mobile phone bills, whatever you're doing with that money. Remove all that, because that's essentially what happens when you start your own business. No one gives you money, and if you think that a bank will loan you 100 grand because you've presented the opportunity, the business plan to them, and £80,000 of your exact overheads to build the website, to pay for premises, to inject that money into marketing, a proper business plan, but there's 20,000 to actually pay me, forget it. The bank won't do it. The bank will give you 80 grand to pay for your business, but they won't pay for you. They want to see you committed. So when you're out there and you're looking to start that job, to start that company, you've really got to be focused. And again, no one told me the script, but there was only one option, and that was to succeed. I knew how much money I was earning in my job, and a very important point, that there's no point running your business if you're only earning 20, 30, 40k a year, because that's a lot of headache for that sort of small return. You can go and get a nice job for that salary and have the less burden. You really want to make it pay off. And I was focused on doing one thing and one thing only, and that was not making it work, really making it work. And within my first year, at 24 years old, I had really made it work. I committed myself to 3 months, that if it hadn't worked within 3 months, I would have to go and get a job in a pub to get some more money in. Sell my car, that was another option. But thank goodness I never had to get that part-time job, I never had to sell my car. I was committed to making it work, and I really made it work. So much so, in 2.5 years, and this was a service-led industry, this wasn't a product I was making, manufacturing and selling, this was a service-led industry. In 2.5 years I made £1 million. And I really made it work. I was focused on doing one thing and one thing only. Working hard, making it work, paying the bills. And I really managed to do that. But fast forwarding on, banks started to fall.